Good morning, everyone, and happy Earth Day. We'll get started now. It's just 1 minute after 12. I assume some people are going to trickle in, but we'll start with just some housekeeping items and just a general welcome. Thank you for attending the third session in our Earth Day Streamathon and helping us celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. My name is Danielle Salisbury. I'm a resource educator with Cornell Cooperative Extension, Dutchess County, and I'll be your moderator for today. The Cornell Cooperative Extensions of the Hudson Valley are very excited to bring you this virtual programming. And if you want more information about our programs, please check out our Facebook and our website. Both are listed here on this slide as well. A few housekeeping items. One, we are recording and we are doing this presentation via Zoom as well as Facebook Live. So as moderator, I will be checking the comments in Zoom as well as Facebook Live. If you are attending via Zoom, you are muted upon entry, but you can communicate with us as with everybody else through the chat box. So at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a box that says chat. If you click on that, it should bring up the chat box. I believe it automatically will address your comments to all panelists. So if you would like to share with the entire group, please change all panelists to say all panelists and attendees, and that way you'll share with everyone. Regardless of if you change that or not, we will be able to receive, Sean and I will be able to receive your questions and I will relay them to him. If you are joining us via Facebook Live, please feel free to enter comments and anytime next to the video and I will be monitoring that. So if you have a comment or a question, I can relay that to Sean as well. Sean will be answering questions throughout the entire presentation, so feel free to ask away as soon as you have a question. This webinar will be shared afterwards on our Facebook, so you can go through and watch anything that you've missed. I believe that's it for our housekeeping. So without further ado, I will introduce our presenter for today. Sean Welsh is a community energy advisor with Cornell Cooperative Extension in Sullivan County. And today he's going to talk to us about some do-it-yourself tips for energy savings. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, Sean, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Danielle. I really appreciate all your help with putting this together today, and I really appreciate being here on Earth Day and being able to communicate with an audience. Usually we're out in the field doing something on Earth Day, so it's nice to have that regular contact. So I just want to say I am a community energy advisor, energy educator with Cooperative Extension in Sullivan County. I work with the Community Energy Engagement Program and colleagues like Danielle and Colin Atkins and Carolyn Clocker, who are also involved with the Community Energy Engagement Program. So for more information about that program, we're energy advisors who can work with folks on their individual situations, whether it be a residential building, small commercial nonprofit, or even a large commercial facility. We have programs through NYSERDA, New York State Energy and Research Development Authority, that we can introduce you to and really kind of get a feel for your individual needs. We have an intake on midhudsonenergychoices.org that we invite anyone to fill out and let us know what your situation is. So today I'm going to be doing DIY kind of tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. I've worked within Cooperative Extension for quite a long time, and I've done energy education, energy efficiency education for about 13 years, and doing workshops around Sullivan County in particular about energy efficiency things that we can do and do on our own. So low cost strategies to help reduce things like air flow and drafts, and do other things about energy efficiency that we can as consumers really affect outside of just like daily habits and conservation, but actually, some things that we can do in our own homes to make sure they're as efficient as possible. So Danielle just threw up in the chat our midhudsonenergychoices.org site. So I mentioned that intake form on there, so feel free to go on there and check it out. So today I'm going to be talking a lot about like products, things that you can buy, low cost, no cost products that you can find in like home improvement stores, in different places, even like supermarkets carry some of this stuff. So you can, if you have any questions, I'm happy to stop along the way, and I'm going to be sharing a video in a second with you that my wife helped me do, and is definitely an amateur video. I appreciate her help, but I do want to say I'll be pausing the video here and there just to explain where I stumble over my words, explain what I mean. So I'll be starting with that, and then I will be going through just kind of like tips and tricks based on a couple different topic areas that we look at things when we're in this energy kind of efficiency space. So those topic areas I'll be discussing are heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And in that is kind of where I talk about airflow and draft reduction. Also, we'll be talking about hot water, okay, appliances, and then we're gonna finish off with lighting, okay. So without further kind of ado, for lack of a better word, I am going to just share my screen with everyone and share a quick video I did. Like I said, I will be pausing this as I go. To just explain some of my word stumbles. So bear with me, and I'll be right back.
Programmable thermostats. They can be set and programmed for the most comfortable temperatures that you would like in your home. The lower the setting, the obvious more fuel savings you'll have. We set ours for about 68 when we're home and awake, and then when we're not in the home, it's programmed and set back. You can find these on your electricity providers, online marketplaces. They often offer rebates and incentives in their online stores. You can find them much more advanced units than this, ones that can be synced with your phone, and then you can see it when you get the information on your temperature and your fuel use when you're not in the house. Discussing air control and draft reduction, this is a door sweep. Door sweeps are offered different products, with different products. This is a peel and seal one. You can get it to be screwed right onto the door.
So what I mean, you can actually bolt these, screw them into your door frame. And I have a towel there. That's another little makeshift item to do door sweep, and at-home door sweep. You can wrap a garbage bag with some sand in it, wrap it up in a towel. Boom, you've got a door sweep.
This would be double-sided tape, remove and just slap it on there. You can find this and screw it on as well. Weatherizing a door. Okay, this is a gasket that can be replaced, okay, around the edge of the door. If it's wearing or tearing or anything like that, you can replace this. Weather stripping. You can see my old weather stripping here that I've begun to remove, okay? Down in here, this is just because I have a gap from settling on this door. So I remove this every year and put in new, okay?
So just a little thing with weather stripping. If you're gonna remove old weather stripping, there's adhering weather stripping. There's different products that are available on the market. That some are like a felt weather strip that you actually have to tack in or staple in. You have to remove all that completely if you're going to put on new.
Gaskets. You can find these home improvement stores, online I'm sure as well. But this is really simple to install. These are usually uninsulated behind this plate for the outlet switch or the outlet plate. This is, you only need to do this, worry about this on your exterior walls. You don't need to do it in the inside of the house because that's not typically insulated. So I would just turn the power off, okay, or your main circuit breaker, whatever. Unscrew this, pop this hole out in here, and then put it behind the plate and put the plate back on. Real simple, and that would reduce your airflow through that space. High efficiency shower heads. I just wanted to show there's a lot of different variables with these. This one is a low cost one. This one's a little more, but both are going to reduce the amount of warm water that I'm calling for my water heater. Under here, if you can get at your pipes, you can insulate from above to reduce airflow from below.
So those pipes, they are encased there. I don't have those insulated, but underneath where those pipes go into the basement, you can insulate there too. So there's two opportunities to insulate and seal those up. And I'm going to explain what type of product we would use there in a second.
Water tank. I'm just going to talk about pipe insulation. This is really inexpensive. You can find this at your local home goods store. This has got a double-sided tape on it, and this sticks to itself. So you can just wrap this around your pipes, your hot water pipes, and and it'll self-adhere, okay? You want to make sure if you do have a heated basement or heated space where you have your water tank, you want to just insulate the first 6 feet where it comes out of the tank and the first 3 feet where it goes into the tank. If it's an unheated space, it is recommended that you can do all your hot water pipes where you can get to them. So this is an unheated basement. I am going to slowly be insulating all of these pipes down here. So we're in the basement. I have this is built for larger than 3 gaps, smaller.
That's a word stumble. These are built, these products, large gap and small gap fillers, are for less than 1 inch or larger than 1 inch gaps. All right, and this is what I would use to underneath the sink that I just had that video of. You could plug that hole up with this product, or you could use other insulation products. You could use different, pieces of insulation you can stuff in.
Through gaps, they make it with a pest blocker in it, so one that discourages pests from entering the home. They make it fire resistant, so you can find a couple different products in the market. You can find these in most any home improvement store. So I just want to show what I've done here with this. So here is a plumbing penetration, an electric penetration, and then that's another plumbing penetration. That goes to the first floor, okay? And I want to reduce the airflow from this cold, unconditioned space upstairs. This is, sorry. So, okay, that, you see me? This is my, this goes to the first floor, is the warm water pipe that goes up to the first floor. I wanted to insulate that so I don't have airflow going up there through that. Here's an electrical penetration going to the outside. I've gone in and air sealed that. Okay, and here's another faucet that's on the exterior of the home. I air sealed that as well, and all in the name of draft reduction. I've done this around the entire rim joist of the house.
Okay. All right. All right. So we have a poll. I just wanted to see, we have a couple polls that we'll put up throughout. But so yeah, so air sealing, just kind of explaining that video, just try to explain some of the terms and what we mean by air sealing and reducing airflow and adding some different products along the way. So if you have questions, feel free to throw them up in the chat, but I'm going to just cover a couple things here with other kind of examples that I didn't touch on as we went. So
Sean, did you want me to do the poll right now?
Sure, you could go ahead, put it up.
Here's the first one. And for those of you on the Facebook Live who might not be able to see this, it's just a quick poll. Would you apply or have you applied any do-it-yourself energy saving measures in your home? And we'll just wait another couple seconds for the remainder of people to answer. Some people have answered already. And there we go. It looks like everybody said yes.
This is a good group of people. Oh, all right. Well, that's cool. I like talking to like-minded folks for sure, I guess, right? So, yeah, good to hear. And maybe I'll throw out some other things. And if you have tips and tricks along the way, I love hearing them. So if you want to, pop those things that you've done, into the chat, that'd be cool to hear from folks. I always pick up when we do these workshops, you always find out a new piece of information that's useful. So thermostat settings, I mentioned those. I just wanted to say, if you're ever going to put in a programmable thermostat yourself, you do have to shut the power off on those. Make sure you're doing it safely. Anything with an appliance, if you're even going to clean out an appliance, like a refrigerated, you're going to clean behind your refrigerator or something like that. I even recommend, in the manufacturers would recommend as well, unplugging units too, and shutting the power.
Sean, I'm going to interrupt you with a question. We have a question that says, how does one actually apply the space filler? How can I test my house for air leaks?
So, a good way to test your house for air leaks, beyond just feeling a draft, okay? The best way to do it is have a home energy audit done. A home energy audit, you can get information on our website, HudsonEnergyChoices.org. You can connect with one of us community energy advisors to help you into that process. And what they'll do is they're going to depressurize the house with a blower door test and really see where you got the most air leaks coming in room by room. That would be the best way. So I'd love to talk more about those energy audits with folks. So I welcome you to visit our website, midhudsonenergychoices.org, and fill out the intake form, and we can reach back out to you beyond after we're done today and get you all that information to get you an audit. Right now, I do have to mention Pause New York. A lot of our auditors and energy workers are not going out into the field to do the audits, but you can still engage with programs and fill out an application and get in the pipeline. So when work begins again, you can be first online. Okay, so that would be the best way. But as a homeowner, I think we tend to realize we do have drafty areas. We know, as I've been working from home over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed some rooms and some spaces I've set up in that I've been trying to slowly, plug up air holes. So one of the things I like to do is take a walk in my basement every year and look for different, I pointed out those penetrations, but over time, like I'll drill a hole up through the first floor for like an Ethernet cable. And so, in the spring, I'll fill out that hole if I forget or whatever. So, I mean, there's always going to be another to look for. And then, of course, there's things that can happen over time. Like I mentioned, settling and frost heaves. That door I showed in the video, that was a situation where that door's actually moved for me over the last couple of years. So I've weatherized it over and over again every year.
And Sean, we have another comment. It says, don't forget about weatherization for qualified clients, of course. We are not currently going into the field, but we are getting lined up for when we can.
Yep. So when we have an income qualified homeowner, we'll get them involved with Empower New York and weatherization. We'll talk to them about, actually, we have another program called Solar for All, which we can enroll folks in now that does, we can get folks involved with that. So we have folks that are income qualified who can get weatherization, can get Empower New York. They can also receive Solar for All, and we're happy to walk you through that process. But yeah, there is a really, and all these programs work with renters or homeowners too. Really important to note. And we're really happy to get folks involved with them. So if you have anybody that receives HEAP, SNAP, anything like that, TANF, SSI, SSD, any of those assistance programs, or they're on EAP programs, the utility, that's a good chance that they are going to be eligible for these other programs, Empower, weatherization, and Solar for All. I see Angela has a question. How long does an audit take? Well, it's recommended if you get an audit that you be there when the audit is done, so you can, the homeowners are going to know about spots in the house they want to make sure the auditor looks at. But it takes, generally, we tell folks 2 to 3 hours to be prepared to be on site with somebody, with an auditor that would do the walkthrough with you. All right. So to apply gap filler, that's the other question I do want to show you. So this is a gap filler. It comes with a tube, okay, that you screw on the tube, and it has an applicator straw with it, an applicator tube. This goes right in here, and then you just simply hold down the trigger. You have to shake the can, and you can fill up those holes. Real easy. Some other caulking products, so I refer to them as peel and seal products. So these are products, if you're a renter, they will not chip or peel paint. This is called rope caulk. Rope caulk is good, especially around a leaky window or something, and you're a renter, you're worried about getting your security deposit back. Rope caulk can be a really handy tool, and I always see these in our home improvement stores in the checkout aisle seasonally. These tend to pop up. A couple bucks, like $2, $3, you can get these. It's like silly putty, and it will not harm the paint. They also make peel and seal products in a caulking tube, so you would need a caulk gun. All right, load it up, and you can apply it with a caulk gun. If you're going to lay a bead down with a caulk gun, I always was told by my father to always practice, because you want that bead to look good. So find an old piece of wood, try out the bead one time, see how it looks, and get comfortable with the caulk gun. If you're not a fan of the caulk gun, okay, they do make permanent caulking too, of course, which can be removed. You would need a utility knife to do that and scrape it out, make sure it all gets out, and then clean it, make sure it's nice and safe to, nice and clean for another application to go down. And if you're not very confident with the caulk gun, they do make a roll, an easy squeeze too. Easy squeezers come in, you can find these peel and seal so they won't chip peel paint. You can find them in a more, kind of permanent way, which also isn't really permanent. You can remove it, but it takes a little more elbow grease. But peel and seal, simply you just roll it like a piece of toothpaste. It comes with a little dial. Most of them, see that's a dial. You just roll it right down. And you can lay a bead with this. And that would be typically around windows. You'd look to caulk, different framing places, different spots where the joints might move, or you might have some separation in some old caulking that you want to like address. You could scrape it out and put a new bead down. Sometimes, you don't even have to scrape it out. If you're a renter, you could just apply new. Okay, hot water. I mentioned, some quick items about your hot water heater. Hot water heaters are going to do anything with a hot water beyond just insulating the pipes. If you're thinking about like adjusting the aquastat or the thermostat that's on there for the water temperature, it should be at we have a poll. Danielle, do you want to throw that poll up?
Yep, I can definitely pull that up.
So quick quote, little poll about what you think your hot water temperature should be at.
Yeah, so for those watching on Facebook Live, the poll is, what is the recommended hot water temperature of your hot water heater? And feel free to comment if you think you know the answer. It's a multiple choice. The first answer is 100 degrees. The second answer is 120 degrees. The third answer is 140 degrees. And the fourth answer is 160 degrees. And we are almost have all of the votes from our Zoom attendees, so I'm going to give it a couple more seconds and then end the polling. But feel free to comment in the Facebook Live if you think you know the answer. Okay, we'll stop there.
Great. Well, everybody's on the right track. Yeah, so 120 degrees is the recommended setting for a hot water heater to be set to. If you ever need to adjust it, there are an electric heater. You should, shut the power off to those. So for an electric hot water heater, it's behind a panel. All right, it's typically right on the front end. You can look at the manufacturing information before you do that. And for a natural gas hot water heater, the dial is usually right out front, so you can get to it easier. But yeah, beyond insulating your hot water, if you have an uninsulated hot water tank, you can look into a jacket or a wrap for it, and you can figure out if it's an uninsulated tank, if it's an older model, or if it's warm to the touch. It's probably uninsulated. Okay, and you'd look at your manufacturing information once again for that to find the right jacket for that hot water heater. So just moving into windows real quick. Windows, I've lived in a couple different places that have had shaky windows, old windows, broken panes, and they do make some nice products that are on the market. This is a indoor window insulation kit. It's just a plastic film that goes over the interior. Okay, so because it's indoor, it's over the indoor side of the window. You extend it past the framing, because that's typically where you have a lot of that insulation missing, just because construction and things like that kind of lend to a gap when you have a window frame. So you get it as far past the frame, and then you would use like a hair dryer or a heat gun to adhere the plastic sheeting to the inside of the window. If it's a real bad window, you can look at both the exterior and the interior. They make that same product for the outside, so you can put an exterior window application up as well. Moving into appliances. Appliances are something that we can really look at, how do an inventory of your appliances. Something if you have kids or you just want to, look at what you got, write them down, how old they are they Energy Star? All right, so the Energy Star is that blue Energy Star label. They come with an energy guide on them. Can you see how much they're costing you yearly? Do you have seasonal fridges that aren't in use, seasonal freezers that are not in use? Consider unplugging, things like that. And home entertainment system, anywhere you have a bunch of digital displays, you can look into advanced power strips. Advanced power strips are a power surge protector, basically in a power strip that will allow you to leave some items on. Like if you're looking at the home entertainment system, you don't want to shut off probably the cable box or your router, something like that. You can have those remain on while when everything else would turn off. And there's even ones with sensors, you know, motion sensors in them. So if nobody's in the room for X amount of time, they'll just shut off. And Energy Star label with any type of, you know, the power strips and different things like that. We're running low on time, so I'm going to move right into lighting. Lighting is the most effectable thing we can do as homeowners and renters, okay, in efficiency right now. So if you have an old school Thomas Edison incandescent light, okay, you want to move into a newer light, all right? For years, I've talked to folks about CFLs, so that's the squiggly bulb, okay, compact fluorescent lights, CFL. They do have trace amounts of mercury in them, so if you do happen to break a CFL, there is a website the EPA has, EPA.gov has some information about cleaning them up, which a lot of those, if they're Energy Star rated, okay, so it's got the energy label on it, they are going to tell you where to go to clean it up. But beyond CFLs, an LED, a light emitting diode, is an even more efficient bulb. Okay, so you're talking about you're reducing wattage. So how many watts we're using to use our lights. So just as a comparison, an incandescent 60-watt bulb can bump down to about a 14-watt CFL, get about the same amount of wattage of lights, lumens, because now we measure lights in lumens and not in wattage, which if you look at your lighting fact label, okay, so this guy on the back, it tells you what type of light you're going to get. All right, and kind of translates to looking at the light from wattage and looking at it now in the eyes of a lumen. So there's lots of different LEDs in the market, light emitting diodes, same type of technology that gives us lights in our computers and our cell phones and our most cars. Then disc lights, you know, LEDs. These are for different applications that where you need it. I have some spaces in my bathroom where I need to have disc lights. Okay, they really work well. They're going to burn cooler. Like I said, I'm using 4.5 watts of energy here with this, and getting the equivalent of about 60 watts of light from an incandescent bulb. So 800 lumens. They make them in lots of different ways, lots of different types. Okay, so even a floodlight. So this is an outdoor floodlight LED. Okay. And then one that I really love, and it's like my favorite thing to do, is put in Wi-Fi enabled LEDs, and these can all be paired up, and I can get a full spectrum of light, which they're labeled on there. You always want to look for that Energy Star label, okay, the blue label. This is an LED Wi-Fi, so I can pair this to my phone and then sync it with all the other Wi-Fi lights that I have. So I have them in my living room, and you can get a full spectrum, so I can get any color of light out of this bulb. And you do need to have access to internet, and you do need a device. But other than that, they are a nice, fun little toy to play with. So with that, we're at my my time here. I want to really thank everybody. I want to thank Danielle for all her help with putting this together. But I really want to thank you guys for stopping in and spending some time with us today. And visit our website, MidHudsonEnergyChoices.org, if you have more kind of questions about energy, or you want to fill out an intake form to get involved with any of those energy audit programs. I mentioned some of our low and moderate income programs, but we can help you access a whole slew of information from local resources. Thanks, Recap, for being on. And we can get you involved with Empower New York, of course, weatherization, solar for all, assisted home performance, and other programs too. So feel free to give us a call, and we can love to talk more about your individual needs.
Great, thanks. I'd also like to make a quick plug for our next streaming virtual event, which is at 1 p.m., also having to do with energy, home, heat, and health, win-win solutions through energy efficiency programs. Take a look at the list that we have to offer for the rest of the day, but definitely tune in with us again back at 1 p.m. Thank you.